Hello, I'm Viney B, and welcome to Viney B's Homemaker Experience. As always, I am so glad that you decided to join me. Now tell me, are you ready to make some brownies? I know I am. So let's get started. Enjoy. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is sift the flour. And so what I've got here is some salt and baking powder. I've got a teaspoon of baking powder and a teaspoon of salt. And so I'm just going to add this to a cup and a half of oat flour. And we'll just sift this, just get this sifted through here. So what I have here is a half a stick of softened margarine, and to that I'm going to add 3/4 cup of Greek yogurt. And I'm going to cream these two items together, okay? All right, now let me say this. If you so choose, instead of using the half a stick of margarine or butter and the 3/4 cup of Greek yogurt, you can just go ahead with full fat and do 2 sticks of margarine or butter for this part, okay? Also, as far as the flour is concerned, I mentioned that I was using oat flour. Well, you can use all-purpose flour if you so choose, and it won't alter, everything will be all right, okay? All right, here we go. All right, that doesn't take very long. Let me just try to scrape it down a little bit. All right, so now to the butter and yogurt mix, I'm going to add a cup and a half of granulated sugar. So we're just going to put that in there like that. Okay, and then also I'm using a half cup of brown sugar, which you don't have to do that. You can go 2 cups of granulated. And now you don't have to do that. You can use 2 cups of granulated sugar if you so choose. Okay, I just wanted to mix that granulated sugar in just a little bit before I added the brown sugar. Okay, so again, this is a half a cup of brown sugar and a cup and a half of the granulated sugar. All right, so we'll just mix that. Let me scrape, get everything off the sides here. All right, I'll let that go a little bit more. Now to this mixture, I'm going to add the eggs. Okay, so we're going to put 2 eggs in and then cream those in. All right, and then to this, I'm adding 2 tablespoons of, and let me show you so you know how it looks, 2 tablespoons of flaxseed meal with 6 tablespoons of water. And when you put these together, you want to let them sit or let it sit at least 5 minutes. All right, so this is ready to go in. See how creamy that looks. And I'm using this as a replacement for 2 of the eggs. Again, if you choose to use 4 eggs, then that's fine. I'm going this route because I would like to cut back on some of the cholesterol in this recipe, okay? But if you don't, if you choose not to do that, you don't have to. You can just use 4 eggs. All right, so let's just go ahead and mix this in. All right, I think that's good. Now to that mix, we'll add well, I'm going to go ahead and put the vanilla in first. I've got a teaspoon of vanilla. Just put that in. And then here is, let me move this back. Okay, so now I'm going to add 6 ounces of melted chocolate. And this is the semi-sweet chocolate, you know, like just your little typical chocolate chip morsels, okay? The semi-sweet. All right, melted and cooled. You don't want to put it in hot, okay? Because you don't want to cook your eggs. All right, so here we go. All right, so let's go ahead and let's mix the chocolate and the vanilla in with the egg mixture. Egg and butter mixture. All right, that's it for this part. All right, so now I'm all done with using the mixer. For the remainder of the ingredients, the only thing I'm going to fold in or stir in and then fold in everything else by hand. Okay. All right, so let's just take this off. All right, so again, we're using 1.5 cups of oatmeal flour. And you can use just your regular all-purpose flour. So we'll just put this in. And I'm just going to hand stir this. Just want to make sure all the flour gets coated. I'll be adding some walnuts, which are chopped, and some raisins to it. Now what you see here on top, this white, is just flour. And so remember, I mentioned in one of my other videos that you need to coat your things that you're adding, fruit and nuts, you want to coat it with some flour before you put it in so that it won't just sink to the bottom in the batter, okay? So I had the flour up there. You don't need a lot, and you just make sure everything is coated. So that's the nuts. So now I'm going to do the raisins. Okay, so that was the nuts, and this is the raisins, okay? And so I'm just going to kind of stir them around a little bit, get that flour. Now, before I add these to the brownie batter, I want these to be the very last thing I do just before I put them in the pan. So I need to have my pan ready, okay? So that's what I'm going to do now, is get the pan ready. All right, I gave my pan a good coating of non-stick cooking spray. So now I'm ready to add my nuts, and I've got 2 cups of chopped walnuts. Just put those in. And a cup of raisins. All right. Now I'm just going to stir these in. And you can put whatever you want in here. You know, if you like coconut, you can. You can put coconut in. All right, so now that looks delicious. All right, so this is all ready to go into the pan. All right, here we go. All right, we're just gonna spread this out. So this is ready to go into a 350-degree preheated oven for 25 to 30 minutes. All right, well, to the oven we go. The brownies have cooled and we're gonna go ahead and just cut into them. These, there you go. All right, they are looking so good. Uh-oh. There. All right. So let's get this nice corner piece out. Oh yeah, it's coming out. Uh-oh. Kind of fell apart a little bit. We'll just flip it on that side. Kind of put it back together. That. All right, I'm gonna get all right, maybe this will help. There we go. All right, that looks good. Making these brownies brought back some nice memories. My sister, she used to make them when we were growing up. She was a young teenager and I wasn't too far behind her. And so, you know, that was quite a few years ago. And I'm telling you, I enjoyed those brownies then and I still enjoy them. Even with the modifications that we made, you know, reducing some of the fat and the eggs and changing the flour from an all-purpose flour to an oat flour. Even with all those changes or modifications, they were still, or they are still, delicious. Now, I'm doing something a little bit different than I normally do. It's been about, maybe a little over a week, about 10 days or so since I made the brownies. And after I made them, I cut them and I wrapped them up and put them in the freezer. And let me just show you. All right, you know, I forgot to get them out the freezer so you could see them. But this is how I packaged them up in the freezer. Nothing special about it, just a freezer, you know, one of the Ziploc freezer bags or generic version, okay? And I just put them in the little lunch bags first, 2 to a pack, okay? And then put them in the freezer bag. And then into the freezer, and they keep so very nicely. I just wanted to share this with you, you know, that not only are these brownies delicious, fresh out of the oven, you can put them in the freezer and eat them and they are still wonderful. They're not dried out or anything like that. Now, I've got one here, and what I did, I just took it out of the freezer and I just let it come to room temperature on its own. I didn't put it in the microwave or anything like that. And so here it is. But look at this. See that? Still looking good. All right. And I'm just going to taste it. Wonderful. I mean, I knew they were. They are just delicious. They're still very good. Give it a try. Make them. And if you don't want to eat them all, you can always put them in the freezer. Another thing too, as the holidays approach, you want to get your baking done. This is something that you can bake in advance and put it in the freezer, and then it's all ready. You don't have to wait to the last minute, and you've got your, at least one of your desserts made in advance. So also, before I leave, I just wanted to mention that this shirt that I have on, this my faith shirt, my friend from my childhood, actually, we went to kindergarten together. She gave me this shirt for my birthday. And I just want to say thank you, Carol. I really like my shirt. Our church scripture or motto is, "Now the just shall live by faith." And so, Carol, I thank you for this shirt. I'm really enjoying it. All right, now, well, this closes out my video for today. And I pray that you saw or heard something that was beneficial to you. And if you have not already subscribed to my channel, subscribe. That is to Viney B's Homemaker Experience, and share it with your family and friends. Also, remember to click the notification bell so that you will be alerted each time I upload a new video. All right, well, thank you again for joining me, and until next time, God bless, be safe, and goodbye.